Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, though. We stay ready. That way we don't got to get ready.
Terence Crawford has just shared his first message for Canelo Alvarez after the official signing of their fight agreement. Canelo has signed a multi-fight deal that could see him box Crawford in September, like in Las Vegas after a bout in Saudi Arabia in May. The agreement covers 4 fights, kicking off in May in Saudi Arabia, with a highly anticipated September clash against Crawford, possibly taking place in Las Vegas. Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight against Crawford in September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't mess with the lion, Alal Sheikh, who heads Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, said in a social media post. Alvarez posted, "Let's go, brother." At a boxing event, Canelo had seemed to be seriously considering meeting Paul, a social media star who is now a boxer. Paul fueled that expectation when he posted, "A-side in every fight I've been in, and that's not changing for this one." Later, it was revealed that negotiations to have Canelo fight Paul in May in Las Vegas had advanced to a point before being shelved. MVP Promotions, Paul's company, released a statement declaring, MVP was engaged in advanced negotiations for a monumental showdown between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez, set for Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas, a colossal event for Mexican, Puerto Rican, and American fans alike. It's disheartening to witness how circumstances played out. At MVP, we pride ourselves on integrity, transparency, and unwavering respect for the sport, its athletes, and the passionate supporters who make it all possible. The statement further revealed, "We remain in active discussions with multiple high-profile opponents and are committed to delivering the biggest fights, the most exciting events, and to working with partners who share our values and our commitment to boxing and its fighters. Jake Paul isn't going anywhere, and neither is MVP. We'll continue to disrupt boxing on our terms." Paul vented his frustration on social media. "Canelo Alvarez ducked me," he claimed in a post. He added, "I'm the new face of boxing. You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved. When all of your events tank and lose money, you will all realize who the king of the sport is." Paul is a professional boxer, though he has yet to compete at the championship level. His most notable defeat came in an 8-round split decision against Tommy Fury, the younger brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen 3 more years from now.
So I'm
going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
His clash with 58-year-old Mike Tyson last November stirred controversy due to their 31-year age difference. However, from a commercial standpoint, the event was a massive success, dominating viewership and cementing itself as the most-watched boxing spectacle of the year. Stepping into the ring with Paul would be an unusual spectacle for Canelo, a fighter who has squared off against some of boxing's most elite opponents. Having conquered multiple weight classes, including claiming a light heavyweight world title, Canelo is no stranger to high-stakes battles. A bout between Canelo and Crawford would pit 2 of the biggest names in the sport against one another. Alvarez is a Mexican superstar who has been an uncontested super middleweight champion for a lot of years. Crawford has conquered multiple weight divisions, yet he gives up significant size to Canelo. His championship journey started at lightweight, eventually claiming undisputed status at super lightweight and welterweight, where he dominated Errol Spence in their highly anticipated 147-pound showdown. He made his first move up to super welterweight last year and defeated Israel Madrimov with a convincing victory. However, Crawford wants to challenge himself against his best opponent, Alvarez, at a weight class that is higher than he has ever competed at. Crawford stated, "I'm waiting on Canelo in September and going to shock the world in Riyadh season." Most fans see Canelo versus Crawford as a little more than a high-profile cash grab. There's no other way to frame it. By the time the fight happens, Crawford will be pushing 38, coming off a lackluster debut at 154, and jumping 2 weight classes to face Canelo at 168 in a one-and-done showdown. For those who truly follow the sport, this has all the makings of a spectacle rather than a legitimate contest. If Crawford were to move up to 168, take down a couple of legitimate contenders, and prove he's not just chasing a payday, a fight against Canelo wouldn't feel like a spectacle. But that's not happening. He simply doesn't have the size or power to handle elite super middleweights. His last bout at 154 was a razor-thin win, and he looked every bit his age in the process. If Crawford falls to Canelo, it's unlikely he'll continue fighting, unless he's either granted a rematch or lured back with a hefty paycheck from Turkey to face one of the top 154-pounders. Turkey sees Canelo versus Crawford as the blockbuster showdown, but wants Canelo to first take on a good or great opponent this May to set the stage. Turkey admits he didn't match the payday Canelo would have earned from a bout with Jake Paul, which makes sense. That's hardly a good fight for Canelo. In fact, if the paycheck had been bigger, a bout with Jake would have made more sense than stepping in against either of them. Turki Al-Sheikh told ESPN that they had asked Canelo Alvarez to choose a strong opponent for his fight in May, as they were building up for a big fight against Terence Crawford, scheduled for September 13th. He mentioned that both Canelo and Crawford had agreed to fight in Saudi Arabia, but since Riyadh's season recognized how significant the fight would be for American audiences, they preferred to hold it in Las Vegas. Turkey also revealed that they had heard about the possibility of Canelo fighting Jake Paul, which wasn't ideal for their plans as it could affect the build-up to the Crawford fight.
Please, brother, choose great fight because we are building for the big fight. Him and Crawford accept to fight in Saudi Arabia, the big fight. But we as a Riyadh season know how is big this fight and also how is important, especially in America. For that, we prefer to do it in Vegas. This is the only condition. Then, in the last 2 weeks, we start to hear the rumors about this fight. And in the last 48 hours, we heard it is close. Then, it is not for our benefit because we are building the big fight against Crawford. We want him to fight good fight, great fight in May.
To maintain the momentum for the big fight, the ideal contest between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would undoubtedly be at the top of any boxing fan's wish list for 2025. Both fighters have conquered 4 weight divisions, showcasing extraordinary skill and dominance. Crawford, in particular, enters the ring with an unblemished 41-0 record, having systematically dismantled his competition while relentlessly pushing his limits. Even though he has been criticized a lot, Alvarez is still regarded as one of the greatest and the largest celebrity in the sport. When 2 elite champions from different divisions clash, the unavoidable truth is that one will step into the fight facing a potential size disadvantage, a factor that can be the defining edge between 2 top-tier competitors. This particular super battle is no exception. The notion that Terence Crawford will be going up 2 weight classes to get this fight is a little concerning to Joe Rogan. After making his mark in the lightweight division, Bud is set to leap from junior middleweight to the super middleweight limit in a career-defining clash that could cement his legacy. This will undoubtedly be a major topic of discussion leading up to the fight, given Crawford's exceptional technical skills. Adding to the intrigue, his next opponent is a world-class boxer with experience at light heavyweight, making this matchup even more compelling. During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, the UFC commentator, alongside comedian Brian Simpson, highlighted the significance of size while building anticipation for the upcoming fight. Having shared the mic with Crawford on multiple podcast episodes, Rogan's main concern is whether Canelo's physical edge will prove an insurmountable obstacle. "I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man," he said. Terence Crawford has no hesitation about jumping 2 weight classes, as he has been relentlessly chasing a super fight with Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. Alvarez is set to step back into the ring on the weekend leading up to Cinco de Mayo, with reports pointing to a May 3rd showdown at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. While his opponent remains unconfirmed, William Skull has emerged as the frontrunner in speculation. As of this production, there are no discussions regarding Crawford getting 1 fight under his belt before his anticipated September matchup with Canelo. If he decides to wait, the agreed timeline would mean Bud will have been out of the ring for over a year before facing what is likely the toughest challenge of his career. However, the extra time could help him adapt to the size disparity. Meanwhile, Canelo is set to have the edge in size, with the fight expected to take place at 168 lbs. forcing Crawford to jump up 2 weight divisions. Despite this challenge, former foe to both fighters, Amir Khan, is throwing his support behind Bud to come out victorious. Speaking to the Ring magazine, Khan said, "I wish Crawford all the best and I think he can do it." One thing about Terence Crawford is he has a great boxing IQ. His IQ is so perfect that he'll see everything. You need everything in the game, from the ring IQ to you need movement. You need power and speed. Crawford does hit hard. A lot of people don't give Crawford the credit for the punch power he has. Crawford does hit hard. I've been in the ring with him, and he was hitting me hard. Canelo Alvarez has built an impressive professional record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, with 39 of those victories coming by knockout. Meanwhile, the 37-year-old Terence "Bud" Crawford remains undefeated at 41-0-0, showcasing his dominance with 31 knockout wins to his name. Khan added, "Obviously, the more powerful fighter between the two is going to be Canelo, but Crawford has enough power to hurt Canelo and push him back, and show him that he's right in front of him as a challenge." So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.